You wear your wounds like a crown. You introduce yourself through suffering. You defend your limitations as if they were sacred. And then you wonder why power avoids you. Your trauma is not your personality. It is an event, a wound, a scar. But you have mistaken the scar for the face. And that confusion has cost you authority over your own life. If I wished to rule you, I would not need chains. I would only need your past. I would whisper, "This is who you are now," and you would obey it faithfully. You would shrink when challenged. You would react when provoked. You would retreat when opportunity demands boldness, all because something happened to you once. Power does not care what happened to you. Power cares what you do next. Trauma is real. Pain is real. Betrayal, humiliation, abandonment, these leave marks. But here's the danger. When pain becomes identity, it becomes permanent. The mind is cunning. It finds comfort in familiar suffering. It says, "This is how I am because this is what was done to me." So you construct a personality around protection. You become distant because you were hurt. You become aggressive because you were dismissed. You become anxious because you were once unsafe. You call this authenticity. I call it adaptation. And adaptations can be replaced. Observe rulers of history. Do you believe none of them were wounded or betrayed? The difference between the broken and the formidable is not the absence of trauma. It is a refusal to worship it. When you worship your wound, you organize your life around it. You choose partners who confirm it. You interpret neutral events as threats. You sabotage success because it feels unfamiliar. Your nervous system becomes your king, and it rules through fear. If your trauma dictates your reactions, you are predictable. If you are predictable, you are controllable. If you are controllable, you are powerless. The world is filled with those who will study your wounds and press them deliberately. They will notice what offends you, what triggers you, what makes you defensive, and they will use it. But when you detach your identity from your injury, you become unreadable, unshaken, strategic. You say, "This is just how I am." No, this is how you learn to survive. Survival is not destiny. It is a phase. The armor that once protected you will eventually suffocate you. A child who grows up in chaos may become hypervigilant, useful in danger, exhausting in peace. A child who is ignored may become excessively agreeable, useful for avoiding conflict, destructive for leadership. These traits were once intelligent responses, but you are no longer in that battlefield. Yet you fight as if you are. That is not strength. That is captivity. To separate trauma from personality, you must first observe your reactions without defending them. When someone criticizes you and anger erupts, ask, "Is this proportionate?" When someone distances themselves and panic rises, ask, "Is this present or past?" When opportunity appears and self-doubt whispers, ask, "Whose voice is this?" The disciplined mind interrogates itself. The wounded mind excuses itself. Do not excuse what must be examined. Understand this. Pain explains behavior. It does not justify stagnation. You are responsible for what you build from your suffering. There are those who turn betrayal into wisdom, rejection into independence, loss into depth. And there are those who turn betrayal into paranoia, rejection into bitterness, loss into permanent identity. The interpretation creates the future. There is a subtle seduction in being the damaged one. It invites sympathy. It lowers expectations. It provides an excuse for inconsistency. If you fail, you blame the past. If you withdraw, you blame the past. If you lash out, you blame the past. And thus, the past continues to rule. A ruler who blames yesterday for today's weakness will never command tomorrow. This does not mean deny your trauma. A scar ignored becomes infected, but a scar study becomes instruction. Understand its origin, patterns, and triggers, and then decide. Decide who you will be beyond it. Identity is not what happened to you. It is what you repeatedly choose. If you repeatedly choose fear, fear becomes you. If you repeatedly choose courage, courage becomes you. The past may influence your first instinct, but it does not have to determine your final action. Power lives in that space between impulse and decision. Rewiring identity is harder than reliving injury. Suffering is familiar. Growth is foreign. But a man who seeks authority over himself must prefer discomfort over repetition. Every time you override an old reaction, you weaken its grip. Every time you remain calm when you once panicked, you reclaim territory. Every time you set a boundary where you once pleaded, you rewrite your character. This is conquest. Imagine a version of you not organized around fear. How would you speak? How would you walk into a room? How would you handle disagreement? That version is not fantasy. It is possibility obscured by attachment to old narratives. You are not your abandonment. You are not your humiliation. You are not your childhood chaos. Those are chapters, not the title. Some cling to trauma because it feels significant. It gives depth. It gives drama. It gives identity. But true depth is not in how deeply you were wounded. It is in how consciously you evolve. Anyone can bleed. Few can transform. Transformation is the rarest currency. If you wish to become formidable, adopt this principle. Your past is data, not destiny. Extract the lesson. Discard the limitation. If betrayal taught you discernment, keep it. If hardship taught you resilience, strengthen it. If it taught you helplessness, dismantle it. Be selective, strategic, and sovereign. The world will try to label you by your worst experiences. Do not introduce yourself through suffering. Introduce yourself through direction, standards, discipline, and vision. When someone attempts to provoke you through old wounds and you remain composed, you send a message. The past no longer commands me. That is powerful. Your trauma shaped you, but shaping is not ownership. Clay is shaped by hands. It does not remain under them forever. At some point, it hardens into form. You must decide the final form. Will you be a monument to injury or an instrument of strength? The anger within you is not your trauma. It is your attachment to it. Sever that attachment, not by denying pain, but by refusing to let it speak for you. You are more than what happened. You are what you enforce. And if you enforce growth, discipline, and self-awareness, then your past becomes fuel, not prison. Stand up from your story. Do not erase it. Transcend it. And when someone asks who you are, do not recite your scars. Show them your command.